Marry me. Oh. Oh, we just don't like the camera. I know. It's the quackspiracy. Damn cameras. Won't leave you duckies alone. Eh? Yeah, let's get this room going. So anyway, Merrymetal, it's fall on Mabon, and this is Sunna, the duck with special needs. She's got a disability still on her one leg, on her left leg. You're wagging your tail. Whoa. Whoa. Everyone's outside now. But in the morning, she's scared of the camera. Sorry, guys. She gets a bath in the morning as well, whereas everyone gets a bath at night before they go to bed. You're wagging your tail. So basically, when I went to the vet, we were given anti-inflammatories to bring the swelling of that hock down, and also antibiotics because, as I mentioned previous, four of my ducks had a staph infection in their feet, from their feet. 3 of them are clear now, including Sunna, and Luke has just got a little bit of one left on one foot. She had one on each foot. However, staph can go into the bloodstream, being Sunna's already disabled. So we've got her on a course of antibiotics as well. Oh, he's such a cutie. Oh, such a cutie. Look at that tail. So she went in the duck mobile to go to the store to get Garn with me. And she just wanted to talk to everybody. It was hilarious. And then when we went to the vet a couple of days later, she also wanted to talk to everyone on the way. And I was like, oh my gosh. What she's doing now is, when she's not nibbling on the dried herbs, she's actually talking. So that's how she actually talks, when she walk, 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 walk. It's not really a quack. It's there, so she's talking. Yeah, so she gets excited when she sees people. And I think she likes the pram because she's not that mobile. So she probably feels like, hey, this is me walking without any effort. But yeah, when we get that swelling down, so the course is about 2 weeks. The swelling down, and we've done the antibiotics in 2 weeks' time. Then I'm actually going to make a prosthetic for her leg. I've got a few ideas, but we want the swelling to go down. When the swelling's down, I can make sure the prosthetic is a nice snug fit. I've got a few ideas, and one of the important things about a prosthetic is that if it gets wet, it can't stay wet. It has to be waterproof. Hey, honey, and it has to mold to the leg. So I've got a few ideas, and I'll keep you posted on that one. Sunna, do. The other thing too is you got to keep an eye out for is when you have an injured duck, or if your duck is disabled, he is going to get picked on by the others. So at the moment, excuse me, frog in my throat. At the moment, I'm not leaving her outside if I'm not home. So she has to come with me or stay inside the house. Oops, sorry guys. That way I can keep an eye on things. So basically, if I hear anyone getting out of hand and I observe anyone picking on each other, I'll go and intervene. And if it's Sunna they're picking on, I'll just pick her up, give her a big hug. They can all see. I mean, this is the other thing. My ducks see me as a duck. They see me as a big, weird-looking duck. So I'm one of the flock. So if I'm, being kind, and if I'm embracing, or if I'm, showing care to Sunna who's disabled, then it's like, the big poncho duck is basically accepting of Sunna, so therefore we have to be too. It's that sort of thing. Because of course, Freak is the alpha of the pack. But I'm big alpha of all of them. I give them the food. I make sure they're protected, and you know, I hug them and each one, and you know, that sort of thing. So, you know, so I personally, I think you need to intervene and tell them off if they're picking on each other. We've had a few funny days because Freya's been reintroduced to the pack after being isolated for so long because of those wing feathers. And it's just been wonderful. You know, every now and again she's a bit sassy, especially with her brother Fawn, who was the culprit from removing most of her wing feathers in the first place with his clumsy attempts of surfing. And she hasn't forgotten. She puts her head down like a little ram, and you know, snorts and chases him, and he runs, and it's just like, oh gosh. But you know, she'll nip at his crop and pinch and hold on really hard. So I don't want any of that. I don't want her beating up my boys either. So you know, so when I see that, I just intervene. I've encouraged Fawn to just get away from her when she looks a bit crazy or hormonal, and he's sort of like, he's out of there. You know, this is the thing with the boys and the girls. The boys are so much stronger and bigger. I really need to do a good cough. Hang on. I had some peppermint tea, and like, we're in fall, so you know, sometimes when it's cold in the morning you get this like mucusy build up, and I just find the peppermint tea breaks it all up sometimes. So sorry guys. So anyway, yeah, so you know, the boys and the girls are so different. So if Fawn has at it with Freya, you know, he's going to seriously hurt her. So hang on. I know, honey. I just have to move that out of the way. You've given me a frog. She's talking. Are you talking to me? Are you talking? Oh, Sunna! Such a goodie. So, you know, there's such a discrepancy between weight and size. So he could seriously hurt her. So, you know, I've just as I've intervened between Freya and Fawn, I'll actually tell Fawn off if I see him going to nip back. Unfortunately, the boys just have to take it and get out of the situation in the first place. We can't have the dogs, well, they like dogs. We can't have the drakes replying in kind to females getting sassy, because, you know, someone will die, you know, and it won't be the boy. So anyway, but look, both of her bumbles are gone, which is fantastic. Oh, Sunna, waggy tail, your waggy tail. Oh, just hanging. So the reason why we're having 2 baths with Sunna is because it's an opportunity for her to hang her feet. It's the warmth, the herbs, and also the ability to mobilize her legs without putting her body weight down. So it's basically hydrotherapy for the duck. I play with her a bit as well. So one of our favourite things is to go chicka 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 chicka. We'll go that again. Hang on, I'm gonna do it. You don't like the camera, I know. Oh, I've got the zoom on, that's why. Sorry guys. Dee do 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 do. Waggy tail. No, dee 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 dee. So yo, you're so funny. Oh, so funny. Love you, puppy. No, waggy tails. So yeah, so it's been a funny few days. So yeah, I'm not, and Freya as well has been going at Sunna So there's a whole pecking order thing that's re-establishing itself now. Freya's back with the pack. Third day has been a lot better than the first and the second. But, you know, she's had a few goes at Suna, and I have to really tell her off. And then Suna has been having a go at Freya because, you know, she then presumes that Freya's going to attack her, so she will attack her first, sort of thing. And it's like, oh, gods, here we go. Yeah, violence doesn't always help violence, does it? No matter the species. And sometimes it's needed, but, you know, not always. It's majority of the time it doesn't help things. It just makes things worse. So, you know, today I've run out of noodles, and I need noodles to, one, give medication to Suna here. But I give the ducks a treat of 2 packets of noodles a day now. Basically a kilo of pasta, then cooked, so then it becomes 2 kilos. And I'll put vitamin B in it, and any other supplement they might need at the time. And they love it as well, so it's their treat. You know, I think it's important to have some sort of treat. This is about Suna, but, you know, also adding a little bit of extra in there too. At the moment, I'm also having issues with the damn sparrows. You know, you guys in the UK, you're having a sparrow shortage. They're all in my backyard here in Australia. They're going into the runs and eating all the food. Like, I'm literally going through double the amount of chook feed and duck feed because the sparrows are bloody eating it. So I'm planning to try and get the runs redone by the end of this week, and I'm putting a 10mm gauge hardware cloth. The sparrows will not be able to get through that. So at the moment they're getting through the chicken wire, which is too big for them. Like, they'll just go in and out, and they also go through the gaps between the door and the frame. So when I redo the runs, I will be, you know, fixing that up. I have enough chicken wire, hardware cloth roll to do some of the runs, but I don't have enough to do all of them. So I might, you know, try and get the runs done, use whatever I can with the hardware cloth, but I'm also going to have to order probably another 2 rolls of 20-meter hardware cloth, because the thing is too, I don't just use them on the walls, I use them on the roofing as well, and then I'll put the roofing on top. I've got some old sheets of fencing that I'm using as roofing, but I'm going to get some new sheets to do the roofing, and then I will be looking at adding some gutters, because my idea is to have the rainwater runoff go into water troughs that they can then drink out of, so they're literally drinking rainwater. Instead of having the water run into the run or down the walls of the run and then wetting the outer edges of the run and, you know, wetting any straw or hay, I'll have the water going off into channels that will then provide extra fresh water for the ducks to drink. Yeah, how you going there, puppy? Oh, she's chilling. That's the spot, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful puppy. So yeah, after I finish this recording, I'm just going to get out of my morning, you know, mucking out runs and chores before I release the quackens. I'll get changed. Try and look presentable. And then pop Suna here in the pram. She'll be going in the duckmobile. And we need to go get some more noodles. But I'm going to take her shawl and put it over the pram or the dog stroller when we get to the supermarket, because apparently the supermarket Coles is in a shopping complex, and the shopping complex don't allow any animals. And it's like, right, you know, it's not like your animal is running around in the fucking supermarket. It's enclosed in a, you know, pram which is enclosed, so no one can touch them and they can't get out. And usually they're just sleeping and chill anyway in there, because they love the smooth surface of the wall. So anyway, I don't want to attract attention to myself, so I'm just going to put a shawl over the pram when we get close to the supermarket, because again, I just don't want to leave her alone, and I'm not leaving her outside with everyone else if I'm not around to hear any, aggressive styles of noise. I know my bird calls, all of them, with my ducks, and each duck has a different vocal and tone, and they have different sounds they make. Each of them have different sounds they make when they're happy, when they're getting sassy, when they want my attention, when they're being sooky, when they want cuddles, when they want food. They all have a different vocab. It's crazy for each of those things. But I've been with them for a while now, so I understand all of them. So from in here, if I hear, and it goes up a little bit of an octane if there's a bit of a kerfuffle, and I'll go out and see what's going on. But if I leave her here and I go off and come back and they're fine, I won't be happy. So I'll just, until I'm absolutely certain that the pecking order has been re-established and no one's picking on each other anymore, I will not be leaving Sooner out there, especially while her leg is a little bit swollen and we're on antibiotics and anti-inflammatories. Oh, because the other thing she's been doing as well, it's been locking out and staying stuck behind her, that leg, the one that's closest to us. Nice to see her having it just drop and hang. So, until we get the inflammation down, the basically 2 weeks of the course of the antibiotics and the anti-inflammatories, and then I put her over a prosthetic. By then she should be fine to be with them without any, scraps. And at the end of this week, so this Friday coming, I'll be having 3 more ducks to the flock. So fun times. Anyway, a bit of a rambly vlog video diary on Sooner this morning and where we're at. So really she's the only duck really remaining with any health issues, but she does have permanent disability. I mean, she's always going to have an issue with this one leg most likely, but I'm still determined to normalise it as much as I can, even if it's making prosthetics for her and changing the prosthetic as time goes on and things correct a little bit more, or sometimes she might flare up and she might need the older one because her hock is swollen again, and she might need to go on anti-inflammatories again later down the track. So you just keep an eye on it. But the big thing with ducks is pain. You need to manage their pain. I do prefer natural methods, but I practice integrated health. So which university was it? Was it Michigan? No, it was Harvard. So did a short course, a cert with Harvard, and basically it was integrated health and medicine, and basically it was a short course for those of us who have been or are in the health profession, and basically it's framework and guidelines and how and what options there are in integrating natural health applications and actual modern medicine. And I'm very much a fan of that. I don't believe in pharmaceuticals is the answer for everything. I like the natural methods. I also like empowering people to, also save their money and have more natural methods. However, sometimes you need modern medicine, and I think, part of being a good practitioner is knowing when to use what. So yeah, very much. So it's integrated health. So if you're interested in looking at something like that, it's worth it. And I looked at it from a human point of view, but of course, the other animals in the kingdom, it applies just as much. Humans are animals. We are animals ourselves. We're not the only and be all, although we act like we are. Not everyone, of course, but the majority. It's just, you know, this is why the world is the way it is. Hey, puppy. And unfortunately, the animals and the children suffer because of that. The two things that should not be. Hey? Let innocence be innocence. We put too much of our crap on what's innocent, and it just needs to be left alone so it can do what it needs to do. And with children until they're old enough to make their own decisions. But way too much grooming and all that sort of shit going on. It's disgusting. Seriously, couldn't have kids myself with all the shit I'd be in jail. I'd be in jail. Someone look at my child sideways or try and push some, you know, sexual identity thing on them. They're gone. I'm sorry, I'd just lose my shit. That, you know, I don't take my duty as custodian of the animals I love and look after. And if I had a child, you could imagine there'd be no different. You know, I'd lose my mind. Anyway, enough of that. Sunna! Would you like some bee? Would we like some bee? We got the bee cup. We got the bee cup. We got the bee cup. Oh, yum, 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 yum. So she's got some nutritional yeast there in a cup, which is vitamin B. Ooh, pop, 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 pop. You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. Yeah, puppy. Sunna! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, pop, pop, pop. Yeah. Pop, 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 pop. Do-do-do-do-do. Sunna, Sunna, Sunna. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Where's a waggy tail? Do you get a waggy tail? She's such a jovial duck. Like, she truly is a happy duck. And it's just, you know, you see her struggle to walk and everything, and she just throws herself out there. She's just like, she totally embodies the spirit of, regardless of what life has given you, you just, you know, grin on the face and you just throw yourself out there and you just keep going. She's just so, you know what I mean? And there is definitely something extra about her, little spirit-wise. You know, she's just such a joy. If I hadn't have taken her, she would have been a dead duck. You know, she'd end up on someone's table or something like that. Especially because she's disabled. It's just, you know, people just... Bop, 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 bop. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. They'd eat their own children if they could. They're just too obsessed with food. I mean, gods. As I'd say to my clients when I used to do my PT, you eat to live. You don't live to eat. If you don't need to do something that causes harm to someone or something else, then don't fucking do it. There's no point. You know. So play is very important because it gets them moving. And she's playing, but yeah, she's quite amazing little ducky, this one. And you know, she has a special cuddles as well. They all cuddle differently, and she's got this way of just belly crawling up your neck and tucking herself into the nape of your neck. And you know, very lovey-dovey, but she just loves talking to people. She likes to talk. So yeah, but yeah, she'll be out there like literally bumbling to keep with the pack. You know, she just throws herself out there, and then where, you know, there'll be a spot where the packer, you know, found some grubs, she'll be right in the thick of it, and then she'll just lie there and eat lying down because of her legs, you see. But she's just crazy. She's crazy cool. So I guess in a way she kind of inspires me. I mean, I do that myself. I throw myself out there, keep going, and, you know, regardless of the physical limitations and financial, I still act as if, you know, I'm going to be able to do everything I'm wanting to do still. That I've already, I mean, I wouldn't have done what I've done if I didn't have that mindset. I'd be still stuck in, you know, what, an apartment somewhere in the city and moaning and on painkillers and this and that, and yeah, no. But it's I like seeing it, that sort of drive reflected in a critter. But she's a lot more happier than me sometimes. And something I need to learn from her is that happiness and joy, regardless of the pain and discomfort she's in. You know, that's probably the lesson I need to learn from this one. Sunna! Sunna! Walk, walk, walk. You're ready to go outside. I know, we're going to go to the store. Going to stop recording and gas bagging. You know I gas bag. Yeah. So I better get my skates on because I need to get these tracky ducks and everything off this apron and put some moisturiser on, put a clean beanie on, I get dressed, yawning, and scoop this one up, pop her in the pram, and we're off to the store to get some noodles. Did I say noodles? Did I say noodles? Pop, pop. Bye, Sunna. So anyway, merry meet, merry part. Thank you all. I hope you're doing well. Bye for now.